Hello and welcome to the debate. I'm Sana Maqbool and you're watching Pakistan TV's special transmission on the 80th session of the UN General Assembly. And this is, of course, a very important platform where key discussions are being held. A number of debates and speeches have already been made by important world leaders. Many others remain as well. But it is important, of course, to take a look at what it is that the world leaders are focusing on and what is the discussion centering around. There's a lot, of course, that is being talked about with reference to the situation in Gaza and with reference to what has happened recently in Doha by Israel as well, and in the larger sense, the Middle East. But this, of course, is just one of the key aspects that are being discussed. The other, of course, is also Ukraine and the aspects of the dynamics regarding geopolitics that affect the international community. Where is it that the key partnerships and alliances are being formed, and how, if there is a change in terms of the way that Western allies are moving forward, and particularly, of course, Pakistan's role in this regard is very, very important given the recent update with reference to the India-Pakistan conflict, and then also in terms of Pakistan's very important role with the US administration, and then the defense pact with Saudi Arabia, and the larger sense in which we see key regional players moving forward with more alliances and more collaboration. And so how will these dynamics affect the future direction, and what is being done in terms of the stage that is being set as part of the UN General Assembly session is something that we'll be focusing on in the next hour. For this and more, as always, in the studios, I've been joined by senior analyst Farrukh Pitafi and Raja Faisal. We've also been joined online by political analyst Mr. Sajid Tarar from the US. Thank you very much, Mr. Tarar, for joining us and being a part of the discussion, and to tell us from on ground what really is the sentiment like, and to have an understanding of the way that these partnerships are developing, particularly, of course, in terms of the US-Pakistan relationship, which is very, very important and has gone through a fundamental focus and shift, particularly after the India and Pakistan conflict, and of course the US-India developing relationships as well that seem to have taken a different turn. So I want your perspective first in terms of how you think this relationship has developed in the recent past, and what will the future likely be, given the fact that we're expecting both the world leaders to sit down soon.
This is amazing. This historical meeting in 2 days. It's for Pakistani Prime Minister with President Trump. On the other side, the Dr. Jaishankar is, and he had Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, on sidelines. So,
We're unable to hear you, Tarasab, but we're going to try and establish our connect once again with you and to get more updates with regards to what is happening on ground. Faisal, I want your take on that as well, particularly when we view this important relationship. We were just talking about earlier how there has been a shift in focus. Of course, our partnership and our historic alliance has remained and has been around for decades. But in terms of what has recently happened, do you think that there's a fundamental change in which the Trump administration is viewing Pakistan?
Oh, absolutely. And obviously, when we talk about India's standing and the kind of events they have been taking place in recent past, especially related to H-1B visa, and everyone knows that was just to hit India because India was the biggest beneficiary of it. And when it comes to many other statements which were coming, even one of the statements that was out there, I mean, President Donald Trump named India and of course China as well, but named India and said that of course they were involved in the illicit trade of oil and Russian oil, and that is there. And of course we know what has been brewing up in Washington related to India in recent past, and that too was related to the highest of tariffs which were being of course awarded to them, and so far they were failing to negotiate, they were failing to even sit with President Trump, and they already knew that if Modi goes to New York this time for UNGA, there won't be any chance of Modi getting a meet up with President Donald Trump that could ease of course some of the tension which is out there. One thing is for sure, that President Donald Trump has a category for India, and that in that category there is nothing like that. India is its ally in the region. Reason being, India is incapable of being an ally of US in the region, especially when it comes to posing a threat to China. And that isn't there at all. When we talk about Jay Shankar getting there, would it be possible to get a handshake, or of course being possible to create some kind of normalization? We know that India has been, getting help from the lobbying firms. Mercury is one of them, and there are many more think tanks that are trying to play their role in Washington, in New York as well, this time around in the UNGA. But that role is not being, set it up for India to get a meetup with America. To me, I think India is constantly failing, and the kind of leverage Pakistan has right now, especially after May 2025 war, that is significant change in terms of, President Donald Trump once again, of course, getting towards Pakistan in terms of strategic alliance. And Pakistan is believed to be the most important player in the region when it comes to strategic, goals of US. And Pakistan is out there. Pakistan has the huge importance, and we know that today there will be a meetup between Prime Minister of Pakistan and of course Donald Trump. And in this meetup, of course, Pakistan's Field Marshal, he will be present in this meetup as well. This shows you the importance of Pakistan in the region, and this shows you that how May 2025 war has completely changed the dimensions within the region, security dimensions within the region. And to me, I think this is something very important, and America is looking into it deeply, and they consider Pakistan being the ultimate strategic partner of US in the region.
Right. Let us also welcome in the discussion Dr. Sajid Tarar, who's joined us online. Dr. Sajid, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Great, we can hear you loud and clear as well. Would love to hear your thoughts and perspective as to what I asked before, and especially in terms of what you see the sentiment is like in the US with reference to this dynamic between Pakistan and the United States, and how do you think that has shifted, if anything, in the recent past, and then how is the US administration also taking a look at the region in general, particularly when we take a look at both India and Pakistan? Where's the difference?
The way I'm seeing it, the way I'm observing it after the Qatar, Israel attack Qatar, the goodwill of America has been damaged, especially in the Middle East and among the allies. And yesterday, meeting took place. Eight Muslim countries, prime ministers, presidents, they met him. So I think that they are doing a damage control this time. And plus, the second thing I hear here in Washington, D.C., that the U.S. is interested in creating a Muslim coalition in that region to counter Hamas and Hezbollah. The way the chapters are going on in Washington D.C., that Muslim countries, eight Muslim countries or maybe more, they will be getting together with the sources, with the boots on ground in Gaza and especially in the Middle East to keep the peace there, to not to hurt furthermore. So that is what is going on. And especially yesterday, the Tayyip Erdogan from Turkey, he has given a very strong, very well balanced speech with the pictures of the Gaza children, and then and then meeting Donald Trump after that, and sitting on the right side. And This is what I heard, that the Donald Trump administration has given them the 21 points agenda to all these eight prime ministers or head of the Islamic states, that if you come across these, that we will move towards the two-state solution. So this is very important, but no question about it. The military diplomacy is taking place, and very successful military diplomacy. The future of Pakistan with the rare earth minerals, with the oil contracts, trade, and especially with the new defense contracts. I think the way our Field Marshal Sayyid Asam Munir Saab has said in Tampa, that Pakistan has to rise, but we have to determine now how fast. So I believe the future belongs to Pakistan in that region. And look at India, like earlier when I was starting up, I was telling you, third meeting in 3 days, in 2 days with the Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif is meeting third time with the President Trump today, and on the other side, nobody, no significant meeting with India. Those used to call them the Vishwa Guru, and where are the Vishwa Guru today and versus Pakistan? So this is remarkable. I think we are seeing miracle and history is being made, and I believe Pakistan is very important related to Afghan policy, regarding the Iran policy, regarding relationship with the China. I think India, I believe America and Pakistan, they are on the same page in that region, and that is very good for Pakistan.
Yeah, Tarak Saab, it's always a pleasure to have a good interaction with you. Raja Faisal here. You have rightly pointed out that there is a role which is being, expected from the Muslim countries to play in maintaining the peace of Gaza. And of course, if there is a two-state solution, then the militaries of the Muslim countries, they are going to play a role. Just wanted to understand more. Have you got any further information about what the role would be of these militaries being there? Are they supposed to, of course, raise a police of Gaza that is going to, with the help of these, militaries of Muslim countries, with the help of them, they can maintain peace by the help of the locals, raising a police service, not the military, but the police, so that there is a sustainable peace in Gaza?
Definitely. I have been recently studying the two Tony Blair formula and plus New York Declaration prepared in the past, and that's exactly what it was. The Muslim countries will go there. There will be a similar model like a West Bank, the Palestinian Authority, that they will be governing the Gaza, and the Muslim countries will not only will protect them and do the policing there, but they will put up some funds for the development there with the American guarantees. America will be a part of it. This is what I'm listening here in Washington, D.C. and New York. But yesterday, let me add one thing. When the Tayyip Erdogan came out of the meeting and some of the Turkish TVs and the media people asked him, what is the outcome? And he said, we are moving toward the solution. I wanted to keep myself very optimistic. Today's meeting, I think within 2 hours, our Prime Minister and our Field Marshal will be meeting President Trump. And then two key things will take place within the next couple of days. First thing is our Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif will be speaking in United Nations General Assembly, and he will be definitely talking about their meeting today, and some big announcements he will make regarding trade or defense relationship. Second big thing will take place that Bibi Netanyahu is here in the U.S. and he will be speaking at United Nations General Assembly. The world right now, they don't want to see him. They don't want to. Matter of fact, you probably have seen the sentiment of Europe and sentiments of the Middle Eastern countries is so much hatred against them. Let me give you an example of the Italian Prime Minister did not recognize Palestinian state, and they have riots. There are riots taking place in Italy today. So you see, that will be very interesting to watch it. What he has to say in the United Nations General Assembly. The sentiments are very hot. The feelings are so hard. People want to see what they're doing. More than 70,000 people have been butchered without and civilian people, children, women. I mean, it's pathetic. In 21st century, the two things are condemnable. One is the philosophy of Greater Israel, and another side, Akhand Bharat, and we are in the middle watching two extremist, radical political leaders, you can say so far, as either is a Greater Israel or Akhand Bharat. But the thing is this. World has rejected their philosophy. World has rejected, and they are standing behind Palestine. That's a good thing, but let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's hope that something good come out of it, and Palestine and the future of the children and the women there, we are able to save. We will be able to save them.
Absolutely. Tarar Sal, let us actually come back to the meeting, the bilateral that is going to take place, as you put out, within 2 hours. What do you expect to come out of that meeting regarding Pakistan, the US, and our mutual interest? Can you unpack the agenda for us?
These are the speculations. These are not a confirmed thing. Ultimately, nobody has given a proper guideline. But the thing, the prime minister, these are the expectations. The prime minister will be talking about, talking to them regarding Kashmir, because this was part when the ceasefire took place. Kashmir was part of those 3 points. Plus the water solution, the India is stopping the water of Pakistan. And another thing is this. This is what I just recently heard from them, that maybe the Afia Siddiqui and Shakil Afridi swap will be the part of it. But Prime Minister and Field Marshal have a huge agenda. Afghanistan, I'm sorry, I forgot, but Afghanistan is a big challenge for Pakistan and America. Matter of fact, they will be doing some joint things there at the same time. But it's just, I think within 4 or 5 hours, we will be listening some kind of a statement from the both sides.
Is Bagram Air Base part of agenda as well?
Definitely. You have probably have heard from Donald Trump, President Trump. He's very serious about it. Plus, he wants to have their presence there next to China with the China's atomic assets. Plus, let me remind you that there was a clear difference in between leaving Afghanistan the way President Trump wanted and the way Joe Biden left. This is my information that Taliban agreed with President Trump during his first period that they can keep the Bagram Air Base. And in recent couple of weeks, President Trump has said again and again that we spent so much money on that air base. Is one of the biggest air base in that area, so we are interested in. And so, to me, if you personally ask me, they're very interested in. And I believe it's very well, it suits Pakistan as well, the way the Taliban and TTP is using their land. Let me remind you, this was part of the Doha agreement that Taliban won't let any other entity use their land for terrorism, but it is taking place. TTP is continuously using it against Pakistan. So I think this goes into the interest of both countries, and definitely that must be or that should be part of the agenda.
Right. Tarar sir, with reference to what the Pakistani diaspora is feeling at the moment in the US, do you feel that there has been a change in the sentiment given the changing dynamics that you're pointing out? What has been the impact of that been with regards to the Pakistani diaspora?
The May 10th has played a major role in the U.S. and especially all over the world in the Pakistani diaspora's mind. Plus, at the same time, our field marshal has been frequent here in Washington D.C. He spoke in front of the diaspora. Then he went to Tampa, and he engaged with the diaspora again. And then he went to Brussels, and more than 1,000 people they were there. And he has continuously mentioned his support, and especially defense is a bipartisan subject, and I believe that the diaspora has changed their mind. They are behind the Field Marshal Sayyid Asa Munir. Because he's not a political person, he's for Pakistan. And not only this, he's very much serious. He's concerned about the economy of Pakistan. During his Tampa speech, he has given the Vision 2030. He has said that the way the rare earth minerals can change the situation, economy of Pakistan, especially the Reko and the other oil contracts. So the diaspora ultimately wants to see Pakistan strong, prosperous, and our field marshal, and not today even then with the Democratic Prime Minister of Pakistan, diaspora is watching, and today, especially when they will come out of the White House. I think that the remaining people of diaspora, those are on borderline, they will be joining their union. They will be coming behind Pakistan and Field Marshal and the government of Pakistan.
Right. Tarar sir, speaking about the agenda, you mentioned Kashmir and you also mentioned Indus Waters treaty, but you stopped short of actually talking about India-Pakistan relationship. Let me remind you that immediately after May 10th, when there was ceasefire announcement by President Trump, he also announced that both these countries are going to meet in a third country for peace building between them, and there's going to be a comprehensive dialogue. So is there a possibility that that might also be part of the agenda item?
The reason, if you personally ask me today, the situation in India is very tense right now. There's a curfew in one of the city in Ladakh. They have burned the BJP headquarters there. The four people has been shot dead there. So the situation is completely changed. Bihar elections are still there, and they have been using Pakistan and hatred towards Muslim politically. Which is basically wrong. And let me tell you, if when I'm watching and listening to their speeches, they are continuously saying that we did not engage U.S. This was Pakistan who asked for the ceasefire, which is wrong. Now even the tail numbers have come out in the media of those Rafale planes, but they are in denial. I'm surprised that the Dr. Jaishankar, who's a statesperson who's very experienced, has been an ambassador in China, Japan, and the U.S., but they don't have any plan B. They don't have anything. Now, look at that. Not only the U.S. today is not talking to them on good terms, Europe is leaving them. European Union is leaving them. Even some of the Middle Eastern countries, they are leaving them. And they are circling without directionless. People hardly believe them. In the morning, they are with Gaza. In the evening, they are with Israel. In the morning, they are with Russia. They are buying Russian oil. In the evening, they come to Washington, D.C. They want to go to China, but they've stopped by Japan. So they are, I have no clue about it. Where they have lost their credibility. Their foreign policy has lost their credibility. Their media has lost their credibility. So they are completely isolated. And a recent step earlier, one of our contributor, with the way he was saying it, 325,000 people per year they were coming here in IT departments, but now $100,000 fee. So they are on the back foot, but they have no clue how to start the damage control. It is embarrassing situation. But here on the other side, the Pakistan, look at that. Even in the previous administration, today the first at the meeting in between the prime minister, this is the first engagement of a prime minister of political leadership after 6 years. One of our the most popular, the Murshid, he kept waiting 3.5 years for a phone call of Joe Biden, and there was not even then a telephonic connection in between Pakistan and the U.S. And look at this today, a third meeting within 2 days. This is your military, the way you guys performed on May 10th, the way you have told the world that we are strong, we are nation, we are not only able to protect ourselves, but we can lead this region. So leadership matters, and you are today in a good hands. Your diplomacy is working. You are not only today with America is with you, China is with you, Middle East is with you. This remarkable journey you have done within 2 years is remarkable.
Yeah, Tarar Saab, I'm glad that you earlier highlighted about the Pakistani diaspora in the US, and they are very important. And you are someone who always plays a very positive role in gathering them for these interaction, high-level interactions with, be it Prime Minister of Pakistan or be it Field Marshal Sayyid Asim Munir. Should we be expecting once more, both of them, they are right now in New York, should we be expecting that there will be another interaction with both of them together with the Pakistani diaspora out there? And are you playing such a role in which you are going to gather them once more? Especially, this is very important that this interaction would be after Pakistan and Saudi Arabia got into that historic security deal, and that is very important as well.
I just came back from London. Matter of fact, I was there with the Prime Minister, a big gathering, a huge gathering. Close to 1,100 Pakistani diaspora participated at that dinner event, and he gave a very emotional speech, and people took it very well. There was a part of it was a plan a diaspora engagement in New York, but it was cancelled because I believe that our army chief, our field marshal, has some engagements, and he will be going back to Pakistan ASAP after the meeting. But in the future, there will be an engagement of Prime Minister and Field Marshal here in America, in the Europe, and in the Middle East, and I'm working on some of those plans right now. But I'm telling you, the diaspora is changing their mind rapidly. They are supporting them, and I can see it. I can see the change among the diaspora because after May 10th is a new Pakistan. And today there will be another mind-changing announcement will be coming from the Prime Minister of Pakistan. That will help them to convince the diaspora, and they're getting popular. They are getting popular.
Tarar Sahab, I'm glad that you're talking about whole host of subjects. Let me take you back to India, because something that we have been listening to Indian analysts, we have been listening to Western pundits also, but nobody has been able to explain effectively what has caused the fall of grace for India in the eyes of President Donald Trump. Do you think that it was definitely May 10th, or something else is also happening that might have estranged, India and Donald Trump, and that might have caused this kind of rift? Because at this moment, it seems that every time there is mention of India in Washington, D.C., more trouble actually brews for New Delhi.
Two things have played a key role in their fall. The first thing was this being overconfident. That's a very first thing. Announcement of being a Vishwa Guru. It was too early, maybe 25 years early. A second thing was this, that they have always used the policy of bullying the neighbors, starting from Maldives and to Burma and to Bangladesh to Pakistan, and then being overconfident. Today earlier this morning, I was on one of the TV channel. I said that two Gujaratis, if they are billionaires, it does not mean that your economy is strong. And I mean it, frankly speaking. 45% youth is unemployed there. But being overconfident and and not only this, living in a fiction, they still believe that we are the stronger than. Let me give you an example of other day that Donald Trump, in a good gesture, called Prime Minister Modi to say happy birthday. And imagine what kind of the rumors they were talking about on TV, that they were saying he has fell down, he was begging for mercy, he's doing. So the thing is this, they are living in different world, which is completely wrong. One of the biggest country in our neighborhood, and they are living in fiction. That is embarrassing. And imagine what is the result of what they're doing. Today, Nepal being a Hindu country, they are not with them. Bangladesh is not with them. Pakistan, of course, China is not with them. Only country they have a support is Afghanistan, and Afghanistan's support is always for sale. They can work with anybody if you offer them the money. And the second country they have a support is Israel, because they are their client, they are their customer. They buy drone and another armaments from them. They are in complete dark isolation at the moment, and that is embarrassing. That's not fair. Like I told you, I had a high expectations from Dr. Jaishankar, but he does not have any plan B where he can change something. I even then feel bad that what kind of legacy he's going to leave with.
Right, absolutely. Sab, let's also discuss a little bit about what has happened with regards to the Middle Eastern situation, and of course the discussion regarding Gaza. It's been an important one, especially when we take a look at the backdrop of the Palestinian recognition as well by multiple countries. I want your take on what has been spoken about by the president of the Palestinian Authority, Mr. Mahmoud Abbas, who's spoken about how this is essential and that this is the land of the people, and that's not something that they're willing to compromise on. And so when we take a look at this and then couple that with the recognitions that have been pouring in, and of course a number of countries putting forward their support, but yet we see that the US decisions as part of the Security Council and rhetoric in general say otherwise. How do you think that this is being balanced out in terms of what countries like Pakistan can possibly achieve with the US, and also with the larger region of the Arab and Gulf states?
I believe the eight prime ministers or the leaders of the countries, those met Donald Trump, that's basically a main group of people. Those agree on many terms, getting the military together, going in there, or putting some funds to develop Gaza. So I believe that it will start from the 8 Muslim countries, and ultimately this coalition will become larger sooner or later. But I believe within this United Nations General Assembly session that we will be hearing some good news regarding Gaza, because the Europe, those are allies, those are part of the NATO, those are the close allies of US. They have rejected the Bibi Netanyahu's ideas. Middle East after the attack on Qatar, they are united now. They are fearful. They are getting very serious about it that they can be next. So there will be some permanent solution you will be hearing very soon. I'm expecting within this United Nations General Assembly session. Earlier, I said that America is doing some damage control because having attacked in Qatar next to CENTCOM, it has damaged the America's goodwill and foreign policy. So the word is not the same. And Bibi Netanyahu continuously talking about the greater Israel and talking about taking over West Bank and having ground invasion on Gaza. The people have rejected it. People, very sentimental speeches I have been listening. Those are getting, the Colombian president even then yesterday gave very emotional speech there. Tayyip Erdogan's speech was very worth listening. A lot of other the leaders, Canadians came up there. The United Kingdom has recognized it. It's unfortunate reality that they denied the visa to the Palestinians, but he did speak. He used the social media platform to speak about it. But I wanted to remain optimistic. I think that we will be hearing some solution within the next one day or two.
Absolutely. Tarar Sahab, I also want your take on the issue of climate change, and we discussed this at length yesterday as well. This is an important aspect of what is going on in the international community, but the sentiment that has come in from the US administration and Mr. Trump has been otherwise. Of course, he's called it the biggest con job. And so the sentiment that has come across is very, very clear. But is that also the take when we take a look at what the people of the United States are feeling like, and then how they are taking a look at this UNGA sessions as to what the international community can and should be doing regarding this issue?
What I came across that our Prime Minister has spoken with the IMF people, and he has asked them to do something with our loan setup, and add some add the flood. The Pakistan, what the damage has been done to Pakistan. This is what has happened. But earlier, the way that Donald Trump, the President Trump, has taken this subject to the United Nations General Assembly session, that this is a hoax and this is either global warming and now the global climate change, and the way the Obama has been abusing it, the way that China is sending, the manufacturing windmills, but they are using fossil fuels and the coal energy. So the American people, if you personally ask, Donald Trump's rating is so high right now, and the way he has spoken, the people, Americans, they are not that much interested in. But the fact is there, the flood has taken place in that region, and IMF and World Bank has to work with them. And this is what this is what my take on it. But ultimately, people are watching and listening and believing what the Donald Trump is saying.
Tarar Saab, when we talk about Nobel Peace Prize, do you think that Donald Trump is going to get it, especially after if he's successful resolving Gaza crisis with the help of Muslim countries and having all of them Muslim countries on his side and making it possible for the Middle East? Do you think that he is going for it?
2 points I wanted to add up. First of all, that these all wars he inherited. When his period was there, when he was the president about 6 years back, there was not a single war started on his watch. Number one. Second thing is this: he claimed other day in United Nations, and his claim is right. He has delivered seven unstoppable wars were stopped within 7 months. And since the day first he has come to the White House, he's non-stop working to stop the wars. And he's very sentiment about it. He said it other day, 5 to 7,000 Ukrainian soldiers dying in a week. And the 70,000, more than 70,000 Palestinian has been butchered. So the thing is, so far, if you personally ask me, he deserved Nobel Peace Prize. Versus Obama was handed over a Nobel Peace Prize for nothing. Versus he inherited everything, and seven wars within 7 months, he has stopped them. He has delivered it. He deserved the Nobel Peace Prize.
Right. Thank you very much, Sajid, Tarar, for joining us and being a part of the discussion and sharing your valuable insights and giving us a perspective of what's going on in the U.S. Farrukh, I want your perspective in terms of when we take a look at these changes, how will that impact after the UNGA ends, the way that these leaders are going to run their own respective governments, particularly we'll talk about Mr. Trump and how he's viewed as a leader or a champion of peace, and then also in terms of foreign policy decisions by others.
Right, Sana, just because those leaders are right now gathered in New York doesn't mean that they still are not running their countries.
Yeah, of
so
course.
that business will continue no matter what.
Yes.
So, and reality is, of course, every country has their own concern. There are things that have actually united disparate forces. For example, Palestine. The kind of televised bloodshed that keeps on happening, everybody keeps on seeing it. That is horrifying for anybody, especially when it comes to children, their mutilated bodies, broken bodies, and women, innocent old men also being just broken out there. So I think that for that there's consensus. When it comes to climate change, of course, there's hardly any. We have seen that every rich country will give you huge lectures when it comes to responsibility of others. But when you ask them to cough up and actually pony up something, they immediately walk away. So there's hardly any consensus there. Regarding something that Faisal was earlier saying, that Modi perhaps did not go there because he was not going to get any meeting with President Donald Trump. I think that he might have actually managed to get a meeting, but there was no guarantee what President Trump is going to say while sitting beside him. So he couldn't afford that.
What
and
mood he's in.
Yeah, he did not have the courage to actually stomach that kind of protest. Last time he was there, he actually spoke about mega and mega becoming mega or something of that sort. So immediately after that, you looked at the president of the US and his expectations were astounding, right? There was no effect whatsoever, and he kept on talking about his own point of view. I think at this moment, India is one country that we want to actually keep looking at because of two things. One, Modi ji has turned 75 and he is a boomer. And in India, two generations, like elsewhere, two generations have remained disaffected. And now Gen Z seems to be taking up arms and they are mobilized. So we have to see what happens. Secondly, there is this feeling of being ambushed by Modi because there is hardly anything to show to the people. They have been beaten badly in the war. The only thing that they still are counting on is cricket, nothing else. Cricket and political crickets, nothing else.
Yeah, absolutely. Faisal, you want to add something? Very
Yeah, I
quickly?
just wanted to say, you know, when Farrukh highlighted cricket, I always say you might lose battles, but you never lose the war. And the war is final between Pakistan and India. We might have lost the, league matches, but we are in the final together. And 6-0 is waiting. And I think this time around, I haven't watched both of the previous two matches, but this one, I am there and I am going to watch each and every ball, and I think everyone would be interested in that. Overall, yes, I would agree with Farrukh when he has said that maybe I think he was deterred with the kind of statements which were already coming from President Donald Trump, and he is jittery about it, that if he's there, what has he got to talk about, and if there is a situation in which President Donald Trump is in a bad mood, then of course it is going to jeopardize all of the work which is being put up by Mercury. And I think it was one of the advice from the Mercury to avoid coming to New York because it would lead to a chaos, and probably there were better things to talk about for Donald Trump, and there are better things for Donald Trump to look into rather than looking into somebody like Prime Minister Modi or India's affairs the way it is.
One question for Faisal.
Yeah.
He keeps on plugging Mercury every for 2 minutes. Whether he is also getting something out of it or not, because he seems to be promoting it a lot.
So far, so far, Indians are our neighbors, and somehow, I mean, we might be having, a contention with India, but they are our neighbors, and this Mercury is ripping our neighbor off, and they are charging them hefty amounts and doing nothing.
Your concern.
Your
only.
concern. We understand.
Yeah, my concern is that they are not doing their job properly. If they have been doing their job properly, the situation wouldn't have been this dire right now for
All
India.
right.
What does that mean, their job properly? Manufacture another Modi which is better and more advanced? To be honest, one thing is for sure, when you listen to Donald Trump, he is nobody's man. He will always speak his mind. And you cannot, no matter what kind of lobbying you have, if he wants to say something, you can't stop him.
All right, that's all we have time for. Thank you so much, Farrukh and Faisal, for joining us in the debate, as always, and of course, as part of this very important transmission on the UNGA. There's one more day left as to the debates, and of course, world leaders are going to have some very important discussions, including a very important address by the Prime Minister, Shehbaz Sharif, as well. So we'll be here to talk more about that, but that's all that we have from today. We'll now see you tomorrow.